What's up, everybody? It's the Bipolar Prophet, and welcome back to Old Ridge Farm in Farming Simulator 15. So you can see we're down here at the dairy farm because the cows need to be fed. Oh, and I just realized I left the lights on in the Ford. This thing's old and worn out enough without me killing the battery on top of it. We have to come down here and feed the dairy cows. They're pretty much out of mixed rations. It's 5:55 in the morning. It's about time to feed them. We were plowing till very late last night. As you guys know, in the last couple of episodes, we've been plowing, doing all the late winter, early spring work. And we were plowing from about 6 o'clock in the morning till about 9 o'clock last night, just to get it all done. The plowing and the harrowing. The ground is really hard. You've got that sort of inch or two of top, good dirt that's kind of soft and fluffy, and then it's just really hard because of all the drought. So it took a long time. It took a lot of power, but it's done now. And it's time to feed the cows. So I came over here and I messed with this thing for half an hour. Again, I really like these things. I do wish there was a way to just sort of, flip a switch and say, okay, well, they're now down to one, where they'll pick up one bale at a time instead of two. But that's not how they're built. They're built for, maximum realism, and I guess I can understand that. It is kind of cool. So, anyway, let's get some bales, and let's get our cows fed. That's a little loud. I'll just turn that down a little bit. You know what? I think we'll try to do it in the cab. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So, I remembered this time about the pallet, and I didn't have the pallet kind of spawn in all over the world, trying to find the other part of it. So that was neat. There we go. It is a lot easier with the mix wagon if you can only... if you only pick up one bale at a time. So, because I don't make that much mixed rations at a time anyway, so I usually only make enough to get the cows through, either a whole day or part of a day. So, and there's a straw bale. We're getting a little low on bales, as you would expect, after the winter. So, we got enough to get through a couple more days. I won't be cutting any grass anytime soon. It's a little early for that yet. So, one thing I did want to make sure, though, is that these are actually silage. After my little mishap with the mod hose, oh, there we go. A little hard to see, but they're silage, yep. Is this one silage? Yes, okay. And it's actually good quality. After my little mishap with the mod contest baler, where it basically unwrapped all my silage bales, I guess it's a bug in the actual baler, I had to go back in and do it manually in the XML, so I had to make sure that I actually got silage again. There we go. Very good. I'm not so worried about spiking these, even though you're only spiking the very sides of them, but obviously they're going to go in a mix wagon and get shredded anyway, so it's not a big deal. What else are we going to do today? Well, I got a couple of things I got to do today. Now that all the fields are plowed, I need to get some grass down over there on field 11 to kind of break it up into two fields like I said I wanted to do. So I want to get that done today. I also got one other thing I got to go up to the shop and pick up. Because of the drought, we've had to pay some special attention to our fruit trees. Their trees are pretty resilient, as you guys probably know, but they do require some care. You gotta take care of them. Normally, trees will pretty much take care of themselves. They a little water, a little nutrients maybe in the beginning of the year, maybe towards the end of the year, Not too much, obviously. You don't want to spray trees with too much stuff because it's not healthy for them. It's not healthy for the bees. It's not healthy for the fruit. But with the drought, we've kind of had to give our trees some help. So I got in touch with the dealer, and I picked up something that I never thought I'd have to buy in this area. I got an Atomizer, and basically what it does is, as soon as I shut this off, it sprays a nutrient solution on the leaves of the trees. It does a couple of things. One is trees tend to go dormant in the winter, as you guys probably know, and you need to kind of wake them up. This sort of does that. It gives them a little bit of an energy boost, a little bit of a nutrient boost. It also attracts the bees to come and pollinate the fruit, pollinate the trees a little earlier than they normally would. So those are two things, and normally I wouldn't have to do that. Nature pretty much takes care of that itself. But in this case, because of the drought, because of the lack of water, I haven't really, our fruit yield, although, in the game, it hasn't gone down any. But, to try to keep the storyline going, I figured, well, why not? I found this thing. I found this fairly cool mod on Mod Hoster. We're going to see how it works and everything, so... A little update on the JCB. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to keep it or not. I don't know if I like it. It's one of those things where it's it's okay, and it's got a lot of redeeming features about it. It makes a great noise. You know, I absolutely love the noise that it makes. It's a good looking tractor model wise. It's just the textures and some of the weirdness. Obviously the 3 points are a huge deal breaker for me, you know. You know, and somebody did leave a comment that say it was a beta mod, you know, and it was still being worked on and everything, and that's great. You know what I mean? I guess maybe once you get it all done, you know, maybe you want to send me an advanced copy or whatever. I'll be glad to take another look at it, you know. So, no, forward. I had my steering wheel turned the wrong way, and I grabbed the wrong switch to go in the direction I wanted to go in. No. All right, this can stay right here again, and we're going to run down to shop, and we're going to pick up our atomizer, and we're going to go down and we're going to spray our trees. I don't even know how much this thing is, actually. I know that I pretty much told the dealer, well, I need one. You know, if I want to stay in the fruit business. Oh, there's my morning lag. Sun's coming up over the hills, so that always causes some lag. If I want to stay in the fruit business, I'm going to need to be able to take care of these trees. I can't just let nature kind of handle it anymore. So until we get some significant rain, you know. Now, trees fall under an exemption with... Wow, that lag, though. I don't know what that's all about. That's new. I swear every day lately I've been having issues with this game. It didn't want to load for me a couple times this morning, and now it's just laggy. Again, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on here. First thing in the morning, you know, in Old Ridge, so it could very well be that, you know. As long as the game is playing, I'm happy. What was I saying? But yeah, you know, with the drought, with everything, you know, with the sort of, you know, with the restrictions we're under, you know, I got to take care of these trees. These trees kind of fall under an exemption because they're heritage items, because they're very old, you know, and obviously the parish and the council and the, you know, the country as a whole wants these trees to survive. So, all right, let's take a look at this thing. I hope I put it in a mod folder. I'll feel stupid if I didn't. What's it going to be under? Is it going to be under sprayers? It is no, there it is. The Agro Mecha Atomizer. It's only $3,500. Costs $10 a day. It looks pretty cool. We will see how it looks, you know, once we buy it here. Hopefully I only bought one, because that all kind of happened pretty quick. So let's go ahead and go take a look at this thing. So it's basically just a sprayer is what it is. You know, and as far as in-game stuff goes, it looks good, though. It looks like what these things look like. And I have used one of these in real life before. And basically all it is a tank with a giant fan on it, and it's got some nozzles, as you can see, around the outside of the fan that shoot a regulated amount of liquid into the fan, and then it blows it out in a wide area. It's perfect for orchards because, you know, orchards, you need to get the stuff on the leaves. It doesn't do any good to get it on the bark. You know what I mean? And for the most part, you don't really want to get it on the fruit unless you're just spraying water, or maybe you're spraying a sugar nutrient solution, you know what I mean, at the sort of very end, right before harvest. That's okay too. But that's what these things are designed for. And whoever made this did a very good job. It looks right. You know, it looks good. I'll be curious to see what the animations and everything look like. But let's get hooked up to it. Let's get it filled up, and let's go see what it does. You can see the JCB and the plow are still sitting here. You know, I'm such a bad person. I didn't even wash it because I haven't made a decision about it yet. You know, the dealer's like, hey, you know, take your time, blah blah blah. You know, he's not really looking to sell it, you know, to too many other people. So, you know, I guess I'm his guy for that. So, we will see. I just don't know. I don't know if I need another, you know, bigger tractor. The big case. You know, the Puma, the 270 is really, or the 240, you know, with 270 horsepower is really all I really need, I think. So, yeah, I don't know. He is a persuasive one, though. I will give him that. It was nice to have a bigger plow to do, you know, especially field 11, because field 11 took a very long time to plow. So, but it's all done now. You know, I still have the growth cycle set on 2. Just because it's a little easier for me, you know, especially with all the stuff that's going on around the farm to try to keep up with it. So, gotta remember to open the gate. No, I don't want to switch spray types. I just want to open the gate. Obviously, they're all in the same key, so. Now, that gate gonna close behind me? Yes, it is. It makes no sense to have gates and not close them. Oh, I need to get this bucket. Well, actually, this bucket's going to stay up here anyway, because I'm going to pretty much the only thing I'm going to use that bucket for is to unload the grade shed, you know, when the time comes. So potatoes and sugar beets, things like that. So. Now, what do I put in this? It doesn't really matter. In the game, it doesn't matter because fertilizing trees does nothing. You know, this is more just a sort of an exercise to do it, I think. But because I thought this was a neat mod and I wanted to use it, so. It's got a little bit of a corona around it, and that's probably the gloss texture that they used. It does look good, but, okay. NPK? Sure, why not? I don't even know how much it holds. Not very much. 500, that's probably more than enough. All right, let's head down to the trees and see how this thing works. And then after that's done, we will come and we will put down the grass over here on field 11 that I wanted to put down. Should probably wash these tractors too. They worked. I left that gate open. See if I can close that one real quick. Did it close? Yep, it closed. Just got to catch that remote control right at the right time, so that because the gates close pretty quick, and I don't want them to close on the tractor. We'll get that grass. Those couple of grass strips down, 3 or 4 probably. You know, maybe 12 meters of grass to separate those two fields, just to make it a little easier, so that it's not one long section and one sort of narrower section. Make it a little easier to work. I will say this, I may be rethinking. I wasn't going to cut fields 5 and 6 together, just because, you know, some of that stuff falls under the category of making things easier for me, and I don't necessarily want to do that. But to be honest, those are very niggly little fields to work on, very fiddly, you know, because they're very small. And it may be worth splitting them, or not splitting them, but splitting them and then combining them back together again into one field. I think that may be something we look at next season. Can't do it this season, obviously. I haven't planted anything yet. It's still a little early for that yet. I don't want to put stuff in the ground and have it freeze to death on me, so. It's funny, all anybody can talk about anymore is the drought. We obviously all meet up. You know, we meet up at the pub, or we meet up, you know, maybe down at the farm store and stuff, you know, for picking up stuff or whatever. Sometimes we run into each other, you know, at the equipment dealer or at the slaughterhouse or any number of places. And the conversation always goes to the same thing, the drought. You know, is it ever going to rain, you know, again, at Old Ridge? You know, I don't know. I know if it gets much worse, you know, this will probably be the last year I plow. You know, I didn't want to have to plow this year, but I didn't really have much choice. You know, I may go to a complete no-till system, just because, you know, at least then I'm not stripping off whatever moisture is in the, you know, on the top layer of soil. Not that there's going to be very much, obviously, but there might be a little bit, you know, with us not being able to irrigate and everything. You know, in previous seasons, you know, most of us have irrigated 2, 3, 4 times a year, sometimes more, depending, you know. Depending on the crop and depending on how your, you know, overall soil condition is. This year we're not allowed to do it at all, so the yields are going to be awful, you know, and it's going to probably end up costing us overall more money than we make. So, you know, there's going to have to be some sort of changes made, I think. And one of the changes I'm thinking about doing is going to a no-till system, where I'm not plowing at all anymore. So, all right, well, let's see how this works. Turn on sprayer. Oh, yes, that's exactly what it's supposed to do. That's exactly what it's supposed to do. As you can see, it's blowing the stuff upwards, up into the leaves of the trees, which is what you want it to do, so that's very cool. I may be going a little fast for this. It's cool, it's got some good animations on it, and everything looks decent, you know? So, one thing about this particular system of doing this is you don't really want to do this, you know, near populated areas, especially if you're spraying any kind of, you know, insecticide or anything. I don't spray insecticide on my fruit anyway, so. Because although there's all kinds of bee-safe insecticides, I still don't really trust it, so. But I will say that's very neat. You know, it's a cool mod. If this is something you guys, you know, if you guys have apples on your farm, and you know, this is something that you would do a couple, 3 times a year, you know, on your farm anyway. So, you know, this might be something you want to look at. I got this from Mod Hoster, so. And there we go. Now, ultimately, in the game, it does nothing. It's just sort of a story hook. It's a role play thing, you know, but it is pretty cool. So, I think this can stay down here with the rest of the orchard stuff, and we'll go back up and we'll pick up our 3-meter cedar, and we'll get some grass down on field 11 and get that handled. And then probably in the next episode, I think we'll be planting. It looks like we'll probably be planting. It looks like it's going to stay warm now, so, or warm enough to plant anyway. And I got to figure out what's going where. Now, do I want to put this in here with the Ross boxes? Yeah, I guess I can. Why not? Oh, yep, I got to say I'm pretty happy with this thing, you know. It's got a little bit of a halo around it, but that's probably the gloss textures. You can see the AO. The AO is very pronounced, but to be honest, I'd rather have some AO than no AO, so disconnect that, jump back in. Are my beacons on? I can't see. I'm in the... Yes, they are. Okay. I was stuck in the roof of the shed. Oh, you know what? I didn't even think to check my my other animals to see if they need anything. They're getting a little low on water, but they've got pretty much everything else they need. We've got quite a bit to sell. I kind of want to wait. I kind of want to wait to sell these animals until after everything's planted, I think. So, how are the sheep doing? The sheep require so little maintenance. You know, I bet the wool pallet collector's pretty full, though. We're going to have to get up there at some point. Again, that can wait till after everything is planted, I think, or seeded. I know we're going to put potatoes in the ground. Probably on 5 and 6 we'll put potatoes because they're smaller fields. Although dragging that big potato harvester around those fields would not be ideal, so maybe not. Probably sugar beets on one half or both halves of 11. Maybe we've been doing barley on field 3 now pretty regularly, or field 1 I should say. So maybe wheat on field 3, barley on field 1, and barley on the home fields maybe, just to get a rotation going so I'm not planting the same crop on the same field every year, because that's not good for it, as you guys know. I have a few days to finalize that anyway, so right now it's really about getting ready. And we're almost there, so for another season here on Old Ridge, why not, right? You know, again, you guys, you know, everybody's been, you know, real great about saying, hey, we really enjoy the series, we hope you keep it going and everything else, and that's awesome, and I'm certainly willing to do it. I love playing on this map. This map has really evolved and grown into something, you know, it's grown into a story, it's grown into a living thing almost, you know, between me and Mike and Sean, and I really enjoy it, and I don't want to stop playing on it, and I'm not going to stop playing on it, even if I do ever stop recording on it, you know. I will still play on it. I will still keep the story going, you know, between the three of us and everything. So, I'm gonna try to do some different stuff this week. Today is Tuesday. You guys will see this on Wednesday. I'm gonna try to probably, you know, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Gonna do some different games. I keep saying it, you know, but I really want to do it. It's just tough for me to find sometimes, you know, to find not the time to record, but like, okay, I want to record this, you know what I mean? But I either I need to figure out how to play it, or, you know, figure out what's the settings are going to be best for recording and all that. You know, those are all things that, you know, that I have to work on. And sometimes that can take the better part of a day before I even start recording. So, but you are going to see some different stuff coming up on the channel before long. So, you know, more iRacing, more iRacing. I don't know what I was trying to say there. More iRacing, more, you know, general racing stuff, because I really enjoy it. Probably going to start seeing some flight sim on the channel before long, too, because that's something I've always enjoyed. You know, and now that I've got Steam Edition, and it runs decently, you know, I may start doing some, you know, not epic flights, but short, you know, short flights, and recording them, so. Okay, first thing I want to do is, so I'm not planting something I don't want to plant. Let's plant grass. Let's go forward. And do I need to fill this up? Well, it's not completely empty, but I think I'll fill it up anyway. Nice to have a cedar on the back of a tractor again after a long winter, you know. But, of course, we're only planting grass right now, but pretty soon we'll be planting everything else, so. There we go. All right, let's head over to field 11, and let's get that bit of separation that I want done. I need to wash these tractors too. Probably, you know, I don't know, maybe next episode, maybe this episode. We'll see how long it takes. to do this. Field 11. I want to go this way. This lag right here is so bad, and I don't know why. I haven't changed anything. I haven't done anything over here. Haven't put anything, haven't added anything, haven't taken anything away. So I don't know what's causing all the lag. I wonder if it's these gates. I know that sounds strange, but it could very well be the gates. Could be the animation in the gates, you know. Plus, it is 6 o'clock in the morning, you know, here in Old Ridge, the sun's coming up, all the usual things. Wah, wah, wah. Lag, it is what it is. So, I went right around the entrance. Yeah, big silly. Well, we'll come around the other side there. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that Atomizer. I like it. I think it's going to be a neat thing. You know, again, it doesn't actually serve a function. You can, of course, do your fields with it if you wanted to. It would be, you know, for any good-sized field, it would take a very long time because that's not really what it's designed to do. But for what I'm going to do with it, I think it's neat. You know, I think it'll be cool to use it on the trees a couple times a year. You know, so okay. Now I want to do this where here, I believe, right at this corner, maybe right here. Yep, I think right here will be... Now, if I can do this straight, that would be awesome. The chances of that are pretty slim. I suppose I could... I wonder if Hired Worker would go completely insane just to get a straight... you know what? I'm not going to worry about it too much. Let me set some cruise control here, though. Let's go slow. Oh, way to go straight. Already making a mess. Oh, well. Not so much straight as diagonal, huh? Well, maybe I can straighten that up. Because I'm going to have to come back the other way anyway, so I definitely want more than one strip down the middle. And I'm going to drive through the hedge. Okay, now... Let's see. I think it makes more sense to go this way. This has never really been my strong point anyway, you know, doing stuff like this. I'm pretty good at cutting fields. I'm not so good at putting them back together again, you know. See, I'm going to have a weird bit over there. I should probably cut this. I should have cut this down further. For some reason, I had this corner stuck in my head. I could make this really wide, I suppose. I could do that. No, backwards. I think my paddles on my steering wheel is starting to wear out. I do use them quite a bit. I use them, you know, for racing, not for every racing game I play. It depends on the car I'm driving, obviously, whether I'm using the H shifter or I'm using the paddles. But lately, I've been driving a lot of cars that have paddles, so they've been taking a little bit of a beating. I'm gonna have to come back and clean that up. Missed a whole big bunch of it there. Go figure. Basically, what I did was I took one fairly irregular shaped field and turned it into two really irregularly shaped fields. Okay. At least there's a separation now anyway, so we'll call this either 12A and 12B or 12 north and south. 11, I'm sorry, not 12. I don't own field 12. Don't have the money for field 12. Field 12 is another gigantic field, as is field 13. I certainly wouldn't mind getting those fields at some point. All right, let's see if we can kind of neaten this up a little bit, first of all. Okay. Now, do we go one more strip here? Maybe. I think, yeah, you know what? I think we will. I should have came down all the way down to the corner there is what I should have done. Because I still have an odd shaped field here, but which is kind of what I was trying to avoid, but didn't really work out that way, did it? Don't really need the beacons on for this, do I? Not really. Okay. Let's see. I don't want to make this field so narrow, though, that it's, you know, a waste of time to work it. So I think what I'll do is I'll run one more strip down this way. And I think that should be okay, I think. You know what I could actually do? But then it's... I could actually just make this whole field over here a grass field. Because grass is going to be a problem. I wonder if that's going to be worth it or not. Or do I leave this field like this? I may, you know what? I think I'm going to leave it like this for this year. Maybe next year I will come down and grass this up, maybe. I don't know. Not really sure. I do have this odd bit right here. I wonder if I connected these two bits together, if that would not be better. Maybe it would be. Oh, now we're doing field designs. Now we're in trouble. It's not so much that I'm trying to square it off, because I don't think that's going to be a thing. But maybe we can do something like this and just cut this end bit off right here. Like that. Yeah, that might work. That might be slightly better. It's going to be a little bit of a weird blob in the middle of the field, but okay. Weird blob in the field. Might as well be the name of this farm for me. Wasn't exactly what I wanted, but I think it'll work out in the end regardless, so. If I was clever, I could put some hedges down here too, replace some of the hedges that I've had to take out around the farm in various places. You know, that would make the heritage people happy and the environmental people very happy as well. And I could actually maybe increase my my environmental payment a little bit, a tiny little bit. You know, I don't know if it would actually offset the cost of putting the hedges in. So, could have a hedge building party maybe. Could have you know, a hedge competition perhaps. Okay, again, it's not perfect, but it isn't awful. It does kind of make a weird shaped bit of the field right here. I suppose. Here we go. Now it's just going to be all trying to straighten this out, and before long, this field's going to be 1 meter wide. Okay, that will do, that will do, that will do. It accomplished the general goal that I had of doing this, so all in all, it's not too awful. Yeah, they're not the straightest things in the world, but they'll do. Of course, Blade won't have any real issue with that. Plus, there's plenty of room now to turn around on either side, so that will be just fine. Okay, very cool. So I think what I'll do is, what do you think? Let's make a screenshot. Is this kind of a boring screenshot? It's not with the sun, though, right? It's kind of pretty. So I will make this the thumbnail for the video. And I will say thanks, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed that. You know, again, it's not, you know, this is all sort of spring preparation stuff that needs to be done. You know, if you guys want to check out that Atomizer, it is on ModHoster, I believe. If I remember, I'll put a link in the description if I remember, if I can remember where I got it from. That's the biggest problem with me and Modless, and I know I've been really slacking with the mod list lately, and I apologize for that, but it's because I can't remember where I get mods from. You know what I mean? I just go around and I find a mod, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, and I download it. And it doesn't dawn on me to like write down the URL or copy the URL, you know, so I can put it in the mod list, and I apologize for that. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. As always, let me know what you think. You know what I mean? Thanks for coming to the channel, for liking, for commenting, for subscribing. We're real close to 2,000 subscribers. You know, again, you know, that's really cool, and it's all down to you guys, and thank you so much. You guys all rock, as I say every video, as I'm going to say every video. And thanks, as always, for making me a part of your YouTube day, and this is the Bipolar Prophet saying, see you later.